Good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope that you guys have a great one out there. and are kicking the day off right. Wow, what a weird pre-market that we saw so far. Very strange pre-market action. Essentially, looking at pre-market right now, the SPY is testing a critical zone of resistance at 660. This is a big zone. We can see it's triple topped here since the end of the day yesterday, and it's testing it again here off the bat. There was some very interesting news where Iran rejected the U.S.'s attempt for a ceasefire. Iran won't accept U.S. effort at ceasefire and war, the state media reports. Does not sound good at all. Sounds pretty brutal. What a wild day in the market, though. SPY's moving up, though. Even though they rejected that, SPY is moving up. So keep your eyes on this zone of resistance. This will be a big one. If the SPY fails to break and we see a re-break back below 650, 650, then watch SPY to the downside. You can see this little range from this morning, and this range is going to be what we look for. Are we going to get a break up and out of that range or down below it? That's the million-dollar question, right? Yesterday, SPY did break that slight uptrend. Or sorry, slight downtrend, and started to form a bit of an uptrend, which is nice to see. One other headline I'm seeing is Dow jumps 500 points as U.S. oil falls after U.S. reportedly sends Iran peace plan. What? But I just heard Iran rejected that. They need to take their headline away. This news right now is getting so crazy that nobody really knows what's going on with this. This is one of the biggest problems with this Iran situation, is that the information out there is conflicting on both sides. Maybe the U.S. truly is working with people over there, and maybe the Iranian people who are saying they're not working with them are like a different, let's say, a different entity trying to take over the government, right? There's a few different groups probably in Iran trying to gain control. How is everybody, though? G-Dog, KNMSO, Zoidberg, West, Jake, Toby, Tank, Ramirez, Joe Papa, Bradshaw, Jason, good morning, sir. Tangi. How is uranium today, Tangi? Corbin. Hey, good morning, fam. Been a while. What's up, Corbin? Appreciate you joining up today. What's up, Nikki? Ken Coded. Man, Corbin, good morning. Family's visiting, been helping a friend. So you haven't been here, Rick says. Hey, no problem. Hopefully everything went smooth. You didn't hurt your back. Oh, you said they're visiting. Never mind. I thought you said they moved. Man, the SPY range, though, is what we're really looking for. I'm actually going to put an alert underneath the bottom end of the range, and I'm going to create an alert at the top end of the range so that we get alerted if we start to get a breakout there. But that's where I want that move to happen. How are the sales going, Corbin? Most likely, FARS is run by one general, Sharpie said. Could be. Tesla's blasting through resistance. I gotta give Tesla some credit here. They've done really good coming back, hitting 391.50 plus. Look at that daily chart of Tesla. What a bounce. What a bounce back. They got through resistance now. With today's move, I would call that an official break. AMD's doing awesome today, Maddie says. AMD. Advanced money dispenser right off of support. Wow, that was a big support for AMD. They really are bouncing. The one problem I see is that they're getting very close to resistance as well, which makes it a little bit of a scarier bounce, but we still like it. Thoughts on Robinhood? HOOD, are they popping off today? Oh, very nice movement from open with Robinhood. That is a good move higher, 74.31. Let's turn on our algos here. SPY just broke one of our levels, guys. I forgot that was the alert sound. That's funny. 660.80 with a breakout. Boom. Wow, SPY is starting to jump. That is a good recovery we're seeing. Good bounce back off that low. It's about time. Let's look at the SPY on the hourly because it's still pretty far off this downtrend. It's been consistently bouncing off of this trend line, and it's getting close right now. We might finally break that downtrend and start an uptrend. Who knows? But it's going to be a big test of that range here over the next couple days, especially if this momentum keeps picking up today. Various points seen as next to impossible for Iran to accept. Makes sense. Wow, SPY. Can't believe that had such a good pop from open after that Iran news hit of them rejecting the ceasefire, but I guess the market doesn't care too much on that. Doesn't seem like anyways, or either that or people haven't caught on. Navarro said Powell staying at the Fed would be absolutely toxic. What? Trump to tap Zuckerberg, Ellison, and Wong to the tech panel. Oh, okay. Looking at all these headlines, nothing too crazy, but we are seeing a little bit hitting there with some of those ones I was reading a minute ago. Go check on SPY again. Oh, big resistance. All right, it's watch list time. As SPY slows up here, Quit the run for now. Chewy's up big on earnings this morning. 14%. Nice pump, and even from open, they had a nice rip. Good to see there. Tilray is up 5%. What's going on with Tilray? Is there some news? Because they seem to have a lot more volatile candles today than normal. It says they're going to be reporting earnings on April 1st, on April Fool's Day. I feel like that's a bad day to report earnings, don't you guys? They should come out and be like, oh my gosh, we're profitable now. And then be like, April Fools. That would be awful. It would honestly be kind of funny to screw up all the bots, though, that trade the news instantly. Meta platforms to lay off hundreds. New headline hitting for Meta here. Not seeing much price action, though. 10 minutes into open, and, you know, not as much PA as I was hoping for, but Nvidia is moving nice, up 2.6%. We're getting a couple stocks with some great opening runs, like Tesla and Nvidia. At least Nvidia is up. I know AMD was moving too, but you know, you look at Microsoft, it's been pretty weak lately with a lot of these software companies. Let's go eye in some of the software. Maybe like Adobe. What's another good one? Oracle, of course. They're a huge one. Not really doing much today. Microsoft is just so weak with the way that it's been falling. That is wild, but granted, I guess Windows time is up. Just kidding. I know a lot of people hate Windows, though. With all the problems I've had with it, I don't blame you. I wish that you could, like, mod Macs and, like, make them better. Microsoft falling to the downside, creating some good downside opportunities, but I know a lot of people don't like the downside opportunities. But what has been moving a bit better today is some of these Bitcoin related stocks like Coinbase, BMNR, IBIT, even with Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin's starting to come back a little bit here. Not a ton, but you can see from around 1:30 p.m. yesterday, been popping back well off $69,000. Look at it holding that trend here. That's actually a pretty good trend on Bitcoin. Hilarious that it held up again. Seems to constantly be having insane movement here. Chopping on these little ranges. For those of you following along, I've been looking at this for quite a while with this current setup, just like the past setup. But once this breaks down, I'll be pretty worried about that, though, if it does. It doesn't have to, of course. Spy is just so stuck. Get out of this range, Spy. We're sick of seeing you in here. How's Palantir today? We haven't checked in on them. They're pretty volatile. 160. $160, very large resistance there. It's a big one. Of course, it's rejecting down with the market. Spy hit and rejected down as well. Mag 7 setup coming back. Apple pulling back hard. I'm sure our cat's down today. Yep. RCAT, UMAC. They weren't up around the top end of my watch list like usual, so figured it was a pullback day there. At least for now. See if maybe they can get going a bit later on. This one's huge with the Trump Jr. news. Unusual machines. I can't believe that he's like on the board, I believe, or either way, he has a majority shareholder position, I believe. Or no. Third largest shareholder. That's the stat. That is what it was. Third largest shareholder. Still, though, that's a pretty big thing to say. When you have the president in there, of course. What a wild time to be a trader, we keep saying, right? Very wild time. Let's look at some of these airlines, because they're moving pretty well today on some of this news. Moving up to 97.50. Looks like they're having some positivity there. At the end of the day yesterday, they popped off pretty well as oil started falling down. We go back to the oil setup. Look at this big wedge on crude oil futures yesterday. This was forming, and at the end of the day, whenever we got that bad news, well, technically, I guess, good news, bad news for oil, it really tanked lower, and it fell right out of that wedge. That was a pretty funny scenario there. It worked out perfectly. Right at the end of the wedge, consolidated up in there perfect, had big resistance that it held at as well, and then that news hit. Very strange to see. It was like textbook. It almost doesn't get more textbook than that right there with that type of setup. And that's generally a bearish sign. You know, generally you see a continued sell-off from this. But of course, news-dependent market right now is going to matter more than these patterns and setups like a wedge or a dead cat bounce per se. The wildest, Angie said. I wonder if, like, after Trump, right? Are we going to continue to see this wildness come into play? I'm very curious. I don't know. I have a feeling that it's all going to stop. I know that we've been talking about that the past few days, but we might not see as much wildness anymore. There could definitely be drops, don't get me wrong, but maybe just not like as wild of constant barrages of news and huge updates. How is LAZR, Jason asked. Laser. Luminar Technologies. Am I looking at the wrong one? What has happened here to LAZR? I know LASR was looking pretty good yesterday. Unfortunately, it rejected at resistance. Didn't really get the breakout going, which sucks. Still on the radar, though, for the next few days. Oh, okay. LASR. I could have sworn there was an LAZR, though, as well. Maybe it was a while ago. Iran said it wants a full end to the war per FARS. F-A-R-S. Of course, the SPY fell since then. SPY rejected at the top end of the range, is now testing the bottom end of the range. Okay. Moved right back down. If you were trading within the range, you trusted the range today. It worked out well for you. For those of you playing puts off of resistance up there. Sean said, as long as he has social media, wildness will be had. You think even after? Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. Could be. Could be. Somebody was hyping Laser to sell their book a while back. Whoa. Yeah, 23, 24 were great years, yeah. 22 resulted in a pretty big collapse, but hey, it came back. We go look at the market. Fairly consistent on the way up. It was a pretty bad overall year there, which kind of sucked. I'm kind of glad that the Liberation Day crash and pullback was a lot better than that. Or a lot quicker, I should say. Quicker is what it was. Yeah, you're probably right, Sean. You're right. Especially whenever you start looking at, like, the odds of people winning elections, let's say. Let's see what DraftKings looks like for presidential election odds. Wait, what? Hold on. Is this real? I have not looked at these prediction odds in a long time. It's showing Ted Cruz winning the 2028 election, like, by far right now. What? Have you guys seen this? I do not remember this being like this at all the last times I've looked. I think last time I looked, Vance was in the lead with Newsom second. Wow, I want to go see what Polymarket shows. Maybe I'm not reading it right. Mason said no, he is negative 4,900. That's weird too. He said he's the favorite to win and lose. Yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah, what's up with that? Something's wrong. I think it's glitched. That would piss me off, though, Mason, if you bet on it. That seems terrible. Yeah, you are right, though. That makes sense. He's probably supposed to be somewhere down here. By Kamala. Let's go to... I'm going to Poly Market to look right now. Yeah, Vant. Okay, yeah, there's a glitch on DraftKings. Thanks a lot, DraftKings. Thanks for that. Yeah, look, Marco's even over him. Tucker Carlson. No way. Tucker Carlson has a lot of betting volume. So does AOC. Why does AOC have so much betting volume? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez leads the betting volume on this. I swear, guys, mark my words, AOC is going to run one of these next couple times. I felt that in my bones like a couple years ago. And now that she's up here in the rankings, I think it's going to happen at some point. Don't go too crazy on me, guys. It's just what I think. Of course, you guys. Wow, there's a lot. Michelle Obama has a lot of betting volume. 13 million. Michelle Obama so far has had the biggest betting volume so far that I've seen. Oh, but now Musk. Musk has a lot. Greg Abbott. Why does Greg Abbott have 31 million? Wow. This is strange. Some of this stuff is strange. Stephen Smith. Why is Stephen A. Smith on here? Oh my gosh. The guy off ESPN? Kim K. LeBron James has $40 million in betting volume. The highest one on the entire list with the most betting volume is LeBron James. What is up with that? If you think about it, you know, LeBron James could probably get on here, put $40 million on himself not to run, and then literally just not run. And I don't know how often that goes on these things, but this is weird. Like, why is there so much betting volume on some of these? That is sus, I'll tell you. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Mason. Because it'd be an easy win for them if they just did that and then just didn't do it. That was weird, though. Like, why would some of those people like that have so much volume? I guess just because it's almost like a for sure thing. Like, what are you doing? You're making like 1% on your bet with that? Like, I don't know if that's worth it. Like, I feel like you could just put your money in the market and make a lot more over that time. Bronny. Stephen A is the worst person to have ever made it on TV, Sean says. Manicured says the A in his name stands for a-hole. Oh, no. Yeah, he is pretty controversial on his sports statements, I'll say that. Definitely not my favorite. Wow, SPY, guys. Hey, now SPY's testing the lower end of our range here. Watch this lower end of the zone, right around 650, 650. Keep your eyes on that level. With Iran saying that they don't want to end the war, I mean, I think that that's pretty negative for SPY, personally. I wouldn't be surprised if it continued lower, but we have to be careful. This is a support zone. It could always hold up. Iran will end the war at the time of its own choosing, it says. There goes SPY. Our alert just hit. Moving down, 656. Wow, SPY is going down here. That's a big pullback initially. AMD and some of these tech stocks had great rips from open, even Nvidia, but they're giving it all back. Giving it back and then some, really. It's there, Wall. I think a new song, or that song just ended or something, so it is switching over. Make it a little louder here. There we go. When they feel it in their bones or when they can find their bones. With Iran. They will end the war when they feel it in their bones. That was funny when Trump said that the other day. That's probably what he's referencing there. What was the news on why SNDK dropped so much today? SNDK, huge pullback in pre-market. Looks like they did an investment here. A $1 billion investment in Nanya Technology. Nanya Technology. They're buying 139 million shares of it for $1 billion. Damn. I've never heard of Nanya before. Nanya. I'm gonna investigate that a little bit. It's in Taiwan. Or they're doing something in Taiwan anyways. Oh yeah, very interesting here. Here's their website. Doesn't really show you much, but... Nanya. I'm searching it up here. They're one of the world's leading semiconductor companies, specifically ranked as the 4th largest manufacturer of DRAM, dynamic random access memory. Think of them as like a memory backbone for the electronics that you use every day, while giants like Samsung and Micron dominate the headline high-performance market. Nanya is a massive player in providing reliable memory for everything from your car to your smart home. So it seems like SNDK is positioning themselves more into the memory game, but it's definitely sent them lower. But yeah, it's kind of putting them up there. They make DRAM, and then they make memory for like automotive and industrial applications as well. It says that with the global DRAM shortage expected to last through 2028, SanDisk has made this move to lock in a multi-year supply of memory chips for their SSDs and storage products. Sounds like they got some good, something good going for that. ARM had a nice breakout there. Good break past 157. Manicured. Man, ARM is on fire. 16% this morning, guys. A lot of momentum with ARM leading my watch list almost. LUNR is just under Intuitive Machines. I think Intuitive had earnings, right? No. When is their earnings? Tonight? I thought they reported this week. Maybe it was last week that they actually reported. I think I was last week. Yep, it was last week. Never mind, guys. I was thinking of the wrong calendar. What a good 5-minute chart on LUNR, though. 19% straight to the upside from open, essentially. Look at that daily chart of LUNR holding their range and continuing to push up. They're not at all-time highs or anything, but they are pushing a pretty critical resistance right now. They're pushing back towards like 23, 25, maybe even up towards like $25 again. That would be a good test, a good push, if they could get it to happen. You can't believe SPY is holding with all this news. Me either. Me either, Mason. I thought it would be falling through this range. It did for half a second, to be honest, but bounced right back. It's a chop fest. A serious chop fest right now. Appreciate everybody joining up, though. Joining up here on your Wednesday. Don't forget tonight, or today and tonight, is live Q&A day. Yes, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we will have the live Q&A in the Discord. Join up. If you're not yet in the trading floor, check out the link I'm sending. Use code BIGMONEY for $100 off the yearly. There's a link in the chat. Get in on the Q&A, though. Join up, ask some questions, learn some things. Corbin. He said, wouldn't be my last day on Hank's crew. Cherry Cola Celsius. CELH, speaking of that. Ooh, Celsius tanked off here again, guys. For those of you that have been looking at a Celsius position, it's at its lowest point since the beginning of 2025. See ya, Corbin. Peace. Stare at wall. It's only for trading floor members, but it's in the where did that go? You know, that's a good point. Give me one moment. It is in the everything to know channel under the trading floor. If you go all the way to the bottom of everything to know, you'll see it says, use this form below to submit questions. Rick says, come and watch Tom be a lurker for a change. Yep. Mike goes hard on those. Oh, sorry, Wall. Sorry about that. The YouTube names don't translate over to Discord well. That's embarrassing. Let's go see the spy here. Oh, you're DeGanger. I don't know how to say your name, but yeah, hell yeah. Let's go. I figured once you said that that's who it was, but that's cool. It's good to put some names, you know, to connect them. Hopefully I remember that now. But yeah, you can submit the questions like right now, no problem. I can't send them here in the chat though, because it will allow anybody to submit the questions, and then, you know, then that they won't even be there for them, so. Or else I would just send it here and make it easy. Will do though is I will do this. I just DM'd it to you though. Yeah, no problem. Spy resistance 661. Now we're starting to bounce back. Are we gonna get back to the top end of this range? Talk about a chop zone. This is crazy with the SPY right now. I want our cat to start popping again. It's moving pretty well. 16.65. Holding pretty well up around the top end of its range now. It had a pretty rough opening move, but it's since recovered back up. Ondus. What else do we have here? UMAC, that's right. Yeah, that one's just not getting the love RCAT's getting. I don't know why, but it is not. LASR's coming back, though, and starting to look good. LASR, Enlight. I liked this one yesterday when you guys told me about this. That was huge. Too much capital in RCAT contracts, KNMSO said. Tansy said, not if you sell them. True. Are you holding puts on RCAT? KNMSO said RCAT has lower lows. It actually has higher lows right here. See this trend of higher lows? What you'd be looking for a downtrend is lower highs, which I guess technically, you know, you could say technically there's a lower high on RCAT here from, you know, like this. If we were going to draw it out like that, like at an angle. Realistically, though, that's just a flat-lined resistance is what that is. They said further out than that. Oh. One call at 16.5 and 5 put contracts. Yeah, you need a big pullback there. Definitely need a decent sized pullback. Which it seems like RCAT just continues to impress. Yeah, watch that resistance at like 1860 to 19. If that breaks, it's going to be tough to keep holding. SNDK is making a move to the sky. You like it, Nikki? You looking at it for a V-shaped recovery off of that dip? It's doing great so far. It's almost up to the 676, 680 resistance zone. That's a big resistance. Nvidia's trying to come back 180, Sean said. Ooh. That was a good move, too. Has to get through that high of the day. AMD did. AMD really made it happen there. Good move up to 219. SNDK needs to hit 679 to fill the gap. There's a gap? Oh, I see what you're saying. Seems like it did. It just blasted. It just keeps going here. Tangyman's up 113% on their first 100 shares of RCAT. Boom. That sounds huge, Tangy. $113% on shares. Doesn't get much better than that. Especially as quickly as it has happened. Tesla 2.74%, holding very, very well off 390 to 391 support. Bouncing back up. Watch Tesla here. This is a pretty good move going on. You've milked it for several high-value covered calls. RCAT's been great to you, too. Love it. Covered calls as well. That's what we want. Nvidia broke 180. See if it holds up. RCAT has printed for you lately. RCAT printed 16.42. Love it, KNMSO. Great stuff. I know a lot of people were crushing it on RCAT, UMAC, and others. Speaking of that, how's LASR again? I had to. LASR, not bad. Moving up to 74 now. Come on, let's get the breakout going. Laser. Let's look at Mag 7 for a second. You wish you kept your first 100 shares of ASTS at 12 bucks. AST Space Mobile 96.44. Look at that daily chart action of ASTS. Iran said talks won't happen. until 5 conditions are met. Wow, AST Space Mobile rushing it right now. Whoa, SPY, what happened? Oh, what a 1 minute candle. Is it on the news of Iran talks not happening? I don't get that. Senior Iranian official said to Reuters that Iran's initial response to the U.S. proposal was not positive, but Tehran is still reviewing the proposal. What is up with some of these headlines and some of these moves that we're seeing? I wouldn't think that that's what caused this big jump on SPY, but something did. Maybe we'll see something else hit here in a second. Yeah, now everybody's reporting that same exact thing. I don't get it. Very volatile move on SPY. Hitting right around 660, 661 resistance and rejecting back down again. What a wild range. What a wild, wild range. But alrighty, guys, we have a lot going on here in the short term. I have to head out today at this point. Still wanted to go live, though, and have a nice first hour with you guys. I hope that everybody has a great rest of their day. Don't forget that it's Wednesday. That means it's Q&A night. If you're still not in the Discord, hop in. Again, apologies to Danger, sir. Sorry about that. DC, my BTG-like company, is up 6.5%, KNMSO said. DC. Dakota Gold Corp. Wow. Been dipping really hard here. Let's see, gold again. Yeah, we'll be live tomorrow, of course. Gold is bouncing well off support, I must say. It's a big zone it's actually holding at. Alrighty, guys. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. And I will see you later.